Hello, everybody, and welcome to a game called The First Tree, which I'm gonna turn down really quick. Give me a second. Yes, let's turn this to being -5. It's quite loud. But yeah, this is our Variety Day game of this week, and I picked it because it looks very similar to Spirit of the North and Air Memories of Old. It looks to be basically a story-driven game, and I wanted something nice and relaxing to be played for this today's stream. So I guess without further ado, also I will say I'm gonna hope that audio is all right, but I guess we'll see. Cause this is all the options I'm given. They're not subtitled at least, but everything else is just... There's no audio settings here. If there's audio settings when we get into the game, I'll change them, but right now, let's just hit new game. So I've got no clue what this game is about. Alright, the game is still very much loud. Really, there's no audio mixer on here. Alright then.
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, hello.
I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
Give me a second. I need to turn down the audio again. Hopefully that's fine. There's also a setting called I'm breaking the wall here, but there is a setting called commentary mode. Oh. Alrighty then.
She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
I wasn't expecting, oh, the first tree. I wasn't expecting there to be voice, like dialogue in this game.
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
Here, give me a second. Let me move some things around really quick. There we go. Hopefully everything is alright. I'm really hoping. It's really hard to gauge audio for this. I'm liking, I don't know, I'm liking moving through this so far. It's a very pretty game, I'll give it that. One issue I kinda have, though. Okay, I wanna see what, I'm sorry, I wanna see what's over here first. But, one issue I have is just the audio right now. I can barely hear myself think. Give me a second. I've got an idea for this that I should have done earlier. Let me turn this all the way back up. And then I'm gonna pop out volume mixer and knock this down a peg. There we go. This is manageable. Still a very nice amount of audio, but I can finally hear myself think. Why can this fox double jump? Like, that's what I'm curious about at the moment. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I wanted to play this game because, like I said, it seemed very similar to Air Memories of Old and Spirit of the North, both of which games I really enjoyed playing. But I don't know, this game might be a lot shorter than those games. I'm not too sure. Because I think this game was made mainly by one person. What is this?
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
Aww. This is a very cute game so far, and we've only been playing for about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna Skyrim horse up this hill, though. God, there's glints. Oh, I missed a few glints back there. Alright then. We'll go back for them. Something I did actually remember to do this time because it was an issue with Spirit of the North and Air Memories of Old is I turned off notifications before we started, just in case we end up getting any achievements. Because I was like, I don't know, it's a loud noise that I was trying to avoid. Am I crazy? I was about to say there was glints up here. I don't know what these glints do per se, but there were glints. There's a playground here? Interesting. Also, voice cracked very hard there. Well, what was this? Oh, it was a desk. Joseph. Alright. Also, this is the fastest I can run, so if people are irritated by this, I apologize.
As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me, so I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friend had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
Yeah. God. Alright, I wanted to run with the rabbits. The rabbits are afraid of a fox, go figure. But, yeah, honestly, she took the words right out of my mouth. Kids can be, well, just people can be cruel in general, and those... I hate to say that many of those cruel kids are products of cruel parents, so... It's sadly inevitable for some people. And when I say cruel parents, I'm not talking about like other issues. I'm just saying some people are cruel. High and mighty. But I'm not gonna dwell on that. I do feel bad for the guy though. I feel for him. When you have stuff you're proud of, that you love with all your heart, and then people just kind of crush it. It hurts. It definitely hurts. Like I said, I don't know how long this game is. I don't really No, no, I didn't want to leave. I've been fooled. They make me back. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I wasn't done. I assume I go through all the seasons then, because we were just in winter and now it's this looks springish or summer.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
This is gonna be a tale of the guy and his father growing apart, isn't it? Why is there a police car? Well, I guess we'll find out from this, huh?
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
Well. Alright, I'll go get the butterflies again. Also, I apologize because I know you could probably hear my keyboard being picked up through the mic, and it's not great. So I apologize for that. I had to pick up the butterflies to get up here. Doesn't really seem to be much up here besides the rock climbing though, so that's a little bit nice. That is one thing about the winter area, is I had no idea where I was going. This one seems a little bit more straightforward. Maybe. Yeah, I spoke too soon. That's a waterfall? I guess that makes sense. That's a waterfall. Let's go. Imagine if there was fall damage in this game. I'd probably... I'd be very sad. What do you got over here for me? I see the truck they were talking about earlier.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him.
What?
Saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
I'm sorry, that's just a little bit cruel, in my opinion, to do that. Don't get me wrong, I was a teenager at one point. I kind of understand that idea, but I gotta do that. I'm hoping this will be enough.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was, and I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time.
I had a feeling that we need all three, but I was kind of hoping I was wrong. I was not. So my plan, I guess, because I don't think you could just walk up here. Also, I'm sorry, I don't know if you heard what is happening. I don't know if you heard me stifle a laugh when I just kind of, dove into this rock and walked up it like this. I just wasn't expecting it at that moment. Alright, at least getting these three. Like, once you get that one, the other two are quite easy to get. This one, just jump down. There we go. 9 butterflies should be enough to make it up here. That's what the game said. I wonder if commentary mode, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's actually developer commentary, because I tried looking it up, I really didn't get a concrete answer. Or if it just means that, like, I could have been reading the, text instead of our narrators. But I'm quite glad I didn't turn it on either way. What do we got out here? What's this?
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
I realized I probably should have been moving during that entire thing, but oh well. Yep, there we go. This is pretty. Oh, oh right. Forgot that you gotta turn on, gotta toggle sprint every time you get into here. Mattress with some cans around it. Alright. Anything around here? I mean, I could go exploring, but I feel like I'd just be wasting everyone's time. Like, exploring the forest. These pathways, though, I'm interested in seeing. Yeah, because there's literally a pillar over here. You see the trees pop into the distance.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
It's smart to come back here because saw that to the left. It keeps going, but there's a tree here.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up. and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I love sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
I feel bad. For most of that, I was trying to figure out how to get that rock to work, so I blanked out a little bit on what he was saying. But yeah, you don't realize it. Don't get me wrong, not everyone does, but it's hard to know what your family's thinking. Don't get me wrong, by the way, like I said, not everyone has a good family. We'll put it that way, but even those that do, it's hard to understand sometimes. There's another pillar. I honestly don't really have much to say during this, because I'm just walking around and enjoying the scenery. I hope you guys are enjoying this too. This is quite a nice, relaxing game to play. Really don't know how long this game is, like I said before, so we might finish it today, we might finish it in, you know, in the next, another stream for it. Oh, hello. Nero. Come on. Get up the top. How did Sure. I was about to say I really don't know how I got that to work last time, so... I guess that works. I don't see anywhere I can go from here, though, so... I may be stupid, I may be blind, I may be both. But I'm gonna head back. Yeah, how do I... Nope, come on. Wait, there's something up there. Just how to get up there, I don't know. you know, besides the loose instructions, there's not really a thing saying, hey, you should go over here, or something like that. Oh, was this pillar actually just to tell me that there was a rock over here? Or is that a... that's not a cave. Gotcha. Yeah, maybe it's time for me to leave, then? Maybe that's all I came over here for, then? Maybe I missed a rock? I'm not sure. But yeah, that... I'm pretty sure that light was just to get me to that pedestal rock. Pedestal? Pedestal. I can't speak correctly right now. I apologize for that. Oh, there's another pillar over here. So yeah, I think that was just for that rock over there. Maybe? It seems like a dead end.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
That beam of light's still there, and I don't know what to do with it at the moment. Oh, there's some glints over here. Memory fragments? I don't know what they are, to be honest. Can't even get up here easily. Yes, I can. Alright. Something tells me I missed a rock. And that probably is that over there. I apologize for being quiet. It's just, like I said, I don't know really what to talk about during this. Literally just walking through the forest, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the music. The story is one I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. And the story is honestly probably what a lot of people are going through now. I wouldn't be surprised. Either way. Let's get up here and do with this rock. Alright, what does 3 of 3 mean? I don't know what that did. So this over here. Oh, it's the tent. Well, I guess we can explore. There's not really much else to do, to my knowledge. There's another pillar. I don't know what that item next to the right of it is, though, but... Oh, it's a house. Probably the house he was talking about earlier.
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
I see all these up here. Do I have to head back to the tree? Is that what the game's expecting of me right now? But first, let me grab all those. Maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh, can I go past here? You know, that's probably what the game expects of me. Go past the tree. Maybe I had to do something before, cause I could have swore these roots were higher. But I also...
The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
I was not expecting this, I'll be honest. Nope, I wanted that. I know I'm breaking the tension, but give this back. Give it to me, please. There we go. That can go down. Also, that wolf was freaky. I assume it's a wolf. But it had, like, the fact that it had glowing eyes, and I don't know why this fox is chasing after a wolf of all things. So... I guess we'll just have to see, right? But yeah, this game does seem to be a game that... It's very short, but look how pretty that looks. I don't know. Maybe I just got tired of, with Spirit of the North seeing mainly, well, no, even Spirit of the North wasn't all snow, it was all greenery. Air Memories of Old was a lot of white because of it being in the sky, but I can see the memory down there. I honestly wasn't expecting this to be, the same area. I was expecting a loading screen between here and here in the area we're just in with those 3 rocks. But it appears I'm wrong, and honestly I'm fine with that. Very tall mountains. I wonder if we're going to be climbing those at some point, but let's focus on the stuff that's in front of us first. Or the stuff that's close. Now I can worry about what's in the future.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
Good night. Kind of a sour note to leave off on that, don't you think? I guess that's reality, though. I'll be honest, I was not expecting this.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like? You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. I think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed-out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared?
Am I not supposed to be following the deer? Oh, I may have ran past this. Also might have been the issue. Cause yeah, this is another island, right? Is it?
I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words. I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
Sorry, again, I'm being quiet because I don't want to interrupt. Honestly, great storytelling of this game. It's all quite lovely. I can already see the fact that I have to do some platforming. Okay. I feel faster doing this, so that's why I'm running in zigzags. But yeah. God. I love this kind of storytelling. Just... like, there's somewhat symbolism in this game. Oop, bonked my head. But yeah, there's somewhat symbolism in this game to, like, what the, narrators, Rachel and Joseph, are talking about with their lives. And I guess just coming to terms with things that's happened in their past and just knowing that if things had turned out differently, that they wouldn't be where they are today. Oh God.
Knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree. She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the Jade Valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
That is something I did want to say. I just didn't, like I said, I didn't want to break the mood. I do apologize for the fact, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know what to expect with this game. So I didn't expect the, lifeless, why is there a building off in the distance? But the, lifeless bodies of, the fox children. Like, it happens in nature, don't get me wrong, but I do usually like to give warnings before things happen, and I couldn't.
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, and got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture, and he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job, or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
So that's all these are, gotcha. I see the house up there. That's not a house, is it? It's more of a building. Oh, it's a lumber building. I saw these glints of light up here. I want to grab these. I see you over there. Off in the distance. What you're doing over here, I've got no clue, but no, there's a bunch of you over here. That's an ambulance. I busted one of that. Is there like a better way of getting up here, or do I have to go up and around? Or am I gonna get stopped by an invisible wall? Aha! Got it, that was supposed to be the end. Going backwards, okay. Whatever, let's just go see what this has to offer. And see if we missed anything else by going the wrong way. Or is that the correct path? I honestly, oh, good lord. So the double jump's kind of weird, in which you have to do the double jump right after your first one. So anytime that, you know, I just kind of don't double jump, that'd be wise, because it's already too, like, you can't double jump on the downward motion, which kind of sucks, but I mean, the fact that I can double jump in general is actually pretty nice. Yep. Oh, there's a hospital bed. Oh, is this supposed to be like... It was all memories of Joseph's... Really all memories that Joseph had of his father, but now... with Rachel talking about how her mother was always in the hospital, I almost said prison for some reason. I don't know where that came from. And maybe this is their house, or was their house. Very big. I guess also just running in side to side gives me something to do while I'm just kind of running in a straight line. Alright, so we'll go and pick up those light, tiny bits of light that I passed up, because I thought that was where I had to go. Then we'll go and see the big memory, and then we'll go further beyond. Onward. Why the like? Don't get me wrong. The atmosphere or the ambiance for, you know, the rain droplets is quite nice. But why did the music stop? I like the music. Quite peaceful. And now it's just eerie without it. I guess I was complaining earlier, so I shouldn't say that's a forklift. Yeah, I was complaining earlier about how the music was too loud, so I shouldn't be complaining about that. You know, I was expecting there only to be 100 pieces of light in this game. So having the fact that we already have 109 is surprising to me. What do we got here? What's our next memory?
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday. I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. Didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited. I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits. I thought he would be here so much longer.
I feel like I missed a memory, but I really don't feel like going and running back for it. Is that the first tree up there? Of course.
In the distance, the first tree illuminated the wasteland. She couldn't go home anymore. She did the only thing she was capable of. Moving forward. My dad died alone in the middle of the wilderness. I should have been talking to him more. I should have done a lot of things differently.
If the first tree on Earth brought life with it, if it taught the birds to sing and fly and showed saplings how to grow, what could it do for us?
Well, I don't know. I didn't expect to get here under these circumstances.
There was a letter I received yesterday from a name I didn't recognize, with a quote I can't stop thinking about. Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. More and more, I'm realizing one important truth. Each of us have our own journey to the first tree. But sometimes I'm not sure I'm ready to take that first step.
You already have my love.
I'm gonna hope I'm supposed to be walking on this. Yes. Nope, I can't jump down. Gotcha. The first tree awakens and gently asks if there is one last message the fox wants to tell her children. She replies back and says, "Give me a second." Alright. No, I did not want to type 6 in this. There we go. Sorry about that. I have typed up my thing, though. Okay, the mother's just gone.
I guess her journey was over. But I have no idea. It was only a dream. A distraction from tomorrow.
I don't think dreams normally bring back to memory so many important feelings. Maybe it was just a dream, but it was also a gift.
Yeah, I suppose. But tomorrow we're getting on a plane to the last place on Earth I want to be. The only person that would have made the trip worth it is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
Huh. 6 months later. Oh. Alright. Nope, can't do anything. And now the real game again. No, I'm joking. This is not at all what I expected. That's probably the fox that, yeah, the fox, rabbit, the deer. I'm sorry, that's funny. I love AK. Tea, sugar, coffee, toasty. Nursery. Can I put on a coat? Alright. Oh, thank God. Okay. It looks similar, actually, to the home we saw, and this looks similar to the truck. Did they say it was purple and yellow? I have trouble seeing colors, so that might still be, to be honest. Gorgeous sight. No trespassers. I feel like I wasn't supposed to go all the way out here. But if that's the case, where was I supposed to go then? No, don't follow the power lines. Maybe just go out around back. Oh, I saw an animal for a second. Maybe down here? Now there's a little thing over here. I see that. Oh, it's a tent. Fireflies.
What the hell?
Hello. There was more stuff back there, I realized, but... Something tells me that, this might be the same fox, perhaps? Because it looks like to be made out of that, white light that we were collecting. I also just wanted to say it was... Actually, I'll talk about that and at the end, because I think we're getting close. I'm also really glad this game does have a sprint feature, because otherwise I'd be walking around like this the entire time. God. This game's so pretty. I'm gonna hope this isn't copyright.
What is this?
This is not the end of time. It is a part of it. The First Tree. Directed and written by David Well. That by David and Elise Well. I was not expecting any of that. I was expecting something, like I said, something similar to Air Memories of Old or Spirit of the North. I wasn't expecting a game to have that serious of a topic. But I still think that it was a great game. I'm speechless, actually. Would you like to anonymously submit your statement to the First Tree to an online moderated database? It may appear randomly to other players. Sure. So it doesn't get lost. So I guess if you ever decide to play this game, you might see my my quote there, and that's the only time you'll get to see it. But yeah, that was The First Tree. I wasn't expecting to have this finished in one stream. Like I said, I was expecting it to be kind of the length of Spirit of the North or Air Memories of Old. But I feel like it did what it had to do. Or, not what it had to do, but it did what it's out to do. Which was to tell its story and provide a message. And I think it did that very well. Like I said, I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting any of this today. But I enjoyed it. It was a very, very nice game to play. It looked beautiful. The story was great. Again, I apologize for not talking too much while we were playing it for the hour and a half that I have been. I just didn't want, like, there was no reason for me to commentate over David and Elise's commentary, or Joseph and Rachel, however you want to see them. Or see them, whoever you want to call them. And any time that I did have a chance to talk, I was just immersed in the scenery or just in the music. But I do feel that, I don't know, hopefully I did this game justice by playing it and showing it to you guys, because I've never heard of this game. I only played it because, or I only have it because it became free on the Epic Games launcher. But I'm very glad I ended up playing it. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of today's stream once again. Just for the fact that, you know, there's nothing really much left to do. I don't have anything that could fill up the last half hour of today's stream. Nor would I want to start something that would be there to fill up. I just realized the fox has I think they're called cubs, if I remember correctly, but it has the 3 cubs at the bottom left. I don't know if those were there at the beginning. I'll have to check when I get the chance. But yeah. That's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. the first tree. I'm a little sad. This is only this is gonna be put on the variety day once off playlist because it took one day. But like I said, I'm glad. Like I'm sad that it didn't last longer, but I'm glad it didn't overstay its welcome. But yeah, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna be taking Wednesday off. I'll be back Thursday with a new idea, something I actually got to work on between now and then. So look forward to that. And like I said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this lovely game. And as always, take care. Have a great day, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next stream. All right. Bye, guys.